I want to talk about Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman, Different Strokes, Arnold. Who remembers that show? Well, I have definitely caught some of like the reruns throughout the years, and it's like every time I seem to come across an episode, my heart goes back to them days of like childhood. Therefore, where my mind is at today as an adult, and you find out some of the things that Gary Coleman, when he was here on Earth, talked openly about his money woes. And it was obvious that it was some money woes going on, because here he worked all those years as a child actor. At that time, there were not, trusts, so to speak, that were set in place. There were not rules and regulations for parents, guardians to follow. So therefore, the rules of that game was just, you hope the parents was setting aside the money that their child worked for, whether that child chose to invest in a business, whether that child chose to go in different opportunities to provide a substantial life for himself. So he or she won't wind up out here with a mind twisted, having to beg for this job, that job, being degraded. And it's nothing wrong with being a security guard, but the fact that people were tantalizing Gary Coleman, having an honest job, making his life difficult. Did they think they could possibly win a lawsuit? Did they think possibly Gary Coleman had some money that they could come up off, like a come up? But Gary Coleman was doing the best that he could to make an honest living. You hear all of these bad things, like anything that could have gone wrong with a child star, amongst others. Who took Gary Coleman's money? So the documentary is supposed to explore that. Will some answers really come out of that? Maybe. Will there be some answers for parents that may need to be aware? Protect your children. Those who do have custody of young children, adult children as well, whose minds may not be fully developed. Protect your children. Don't trust everything that the agent is saying. Don't trust everything that the manager is saying. Don't trust everything that the photographer is saying. Do your research along with that one that you're supposed to be looking out for. Plant the seeds so the child, as they grow into an adult, will know what flags to look for and know what parties not to attend. Know that they don't owe nobody anything, and that it is okay to say no and to walk away, and then not every project is for them. And by all means, start them now if they're young, if you still have young children. But I feel like we can never stop teaching. We can never stop imparting something to our young ones, or the ones our own age for that matter, or just saying something of sound mind. Save your money, because you just never know. You know, you have these actors of today sometimes that have started GoFundMe, so to speak, because things didn't go accordingly. You know, times are running high, and maybe the mind was altered. Maybe they were talked into signing contracts that they really wasn't fully aware of. And next thing you know, wow, they done sold their likeness, their image, and whatever else goes along with that, their name, all on a project for the big time studios to benefit. And you're left with nothing, and you don't realize it until you're of age, or when you need medical help, medical attention. And it's like, oh, well, that didn't go very well, and then you just spent the money up on unnecessary things. So Gary Coleman's ex-wife is supposed to speak. I never did trust that situation. The older I got, the more I started looking into that and kind of became interested in that story. I'm like, now what's up with her? Something just don't seem like it clicked. The parents, when they would go on interviews, something obviously just didn't click with them. But at that time, I just don't think the law was holding guardians accountable as to how they are now to put the money up for an underage actor. But again, if you have an underage actor that you are watching over, please be on that set. Because, you know, when that stuff came out about Disney, Nickelodeon, you had producers, managers, people that were turning the talent, their talent, that individual's child against the parent. So they could create tension. And if you have tension among mother, daughter, daughter, father, however it works, whoever is on set, auntie, nephew, uncle, whoever has guardianship to be on set, and they're saying, trying to get the person off the set, don't ever give in to that. Watch over yours. Have your conversations with yours. Pass the information down. If you got grandkids and your daughter, your son is watching over, trying to pursue this career for their children that's coming up now, tell them, don't be deceived. Every smiling face is not for you. And people are so greedy when it comes to money that they will shamefully do anything just to take it, just to benefit themselves. And you don't know what type of habits people got, that they trying to take the last little funds of what your child or what you have even worked for. When we worked for something, we do expect to be paid for it, unless we knew up front that we were doing this as a charitable event. That's different when we done sign that contract. But hey, if we put time in and there's a contract that's written and we know how much we're supposed to be getting, yes, that's supposed to be yours in your name. That's supposed to be theirs in their name. Friendship, no, this is strictly business. People got to eat. People are wandering out in tents nowadays. These soup lines, they don't even exist. A tent life barely exists because people are claiming their own territory and a place to live. It is really bad out here. Inflation is on a whole nother level. And from one day to the next, we don't know what we're going to wake up to. We don't know who's going to be next to be the president. We don't know from one day to the next if the local electives who are running, if they're really the right ones. This is really going to take a lot of prayer and getting centered and having our minds focused, because every day, again, it's something new. What's sticking? And a lot of times what's sticking when the spaghetti is being thrown up against the wall, nothing is sticking. And if it is sticking, it's just a whole bunch of junk that needs to be cleared out of the mind, to do a reset, to start all over, to get refocused, to decide what is best for you and your family. But again, this documentary is coming out on Peacock about Gary Coleman, Latoya Luckett. She's going to be in a new project. Congratulations to her again on her new nuptials. And so what if it happens to be her third time? Hopefully she got it right this time. Marriage is not easy, but at the same time, it can be done if both parties are truly ready. And if things come up, because things are going to come up, can they be worked out? Is this what is meant to be that has been ordained? So again, let's be of good courage, look out for each other, and I'm looking forward to that Latoya Luckett project coming out, and also Gary Coleman's project coming out as well. And hopefully whoever's going to benefit from this, as far as the money, because there again, ain't nobody just putting a project together for money, but whoever is supposed to benefit from this, I pray that it goes into the right hands and that we can take something from this, use it as a teaching tool.